Now, welcome to another news from Naboo featuring Thor's lightning takes. Maybe
No,
no.
it's just
Come on.
with Thor 2.
No, it's with Thor's
No.
lightning takes.
No.
All right. Well, we'll see what the people out there decide. All right. So we're going to begin with a rumor today, I believe.
Today's first rumor is that Obi-Wan will duel Vader more than once in the Kenobi series.
Oh boy. Okay, so we could have an hour-long discussion about should they duel each other once. Now, should they duel each other twice? Not to do the hour-long discussion. My belief is if you want to do this, which I'm not necessarily for, considering if we delve into what is said in A New Hope, which I'm probably going to do a whole video about that on the main channel. I don't know about them dueling even once, but the idea of them dueling twice makes even less sense. I mean, if you want to build the whole series up to explain this one duel, okay, perhaps, but the idea of two of them, to me that just says you just want the spectacle. You just want, the whole point of the series is to bring back Hayden, which is awesome, don't get me wrong, but to bring back Hayden, to have Vader and Kenobi duel so that we can put it on Disney Plus and people will subscribe and they'll watch it and go, oh my goodness, it's Kenobi versus Vader again and it's so cool. Not that there's actually any kind of real substantial story behind it.
Well, what I'm actually thinking is, they're saying Vader, but what if it's not Vader? What if it's one time is Vader and the other time is Anakin? Like flashback to their training days or something.
Possibly.
That could be technically a second duel with Vader, but they might not have wanted to say, I was going to duel once with Anakin and once with Vader.
That's
It doesn't
an
sound as
interesting idea.
cool in the rumor mill.
I believe the rumor said something like they were both going to be up there in the greatest lightsaber battles of all time. And
Well, they
granted,
can be.
this is 100% a rumor. We do know the rematch of the century is coming. That was Kennedy herself who said that. So more than likely there is some kind of match coming. Whether there's two, what they look like, how they happen, what leads up to them. And sure, if you want to do a training montage of sorts between Kenobi and Anakin, that is something I'm fine with. I mean, I think that I'm hoping to see some flashbacks to Kenobi and Anakin Clone Wars kind of era. Maybe even Ahsoka in there. I don't know how they would do it, de-aging or what they would do, but
They've got
sure.
great technology. They can do what they want now.
Yeah, and I think they will. I think the things like Luke and, the Mandalorian and such are test runs to see how people will respond to this, technology. So
our next piece of news is from the Star Wars Black Series line. We know that when they came out with Black Chrysanthemum that they were supposed to come up with 4 figures based on the comics. So that was our first one. The other 3 now have possible character leaks. So the first one they're talking about is going to be Princess Leia, based on the comic books.
which comic book?
Just-
Don't know. Just Princess.
Just the comic books. I mean, I'm going to put a picture up there that's the one that most people are assuming it is. It's just Leia in like a white jumpsuit with some gloves.
Oh, okay. Some like the newer Star Wars Marvel
The newer
series,
ones,
I think.
yeah.
Okay.
They're also going to use Darth Vader Redeemed, which is from the old comics.
So we're gonna get white Darth Vader. Is that what you're telling me?
Yeah, and that's kind of disappointing
Okay.
to me because there have already been 2 interpretations of that out there. Like Sideshow did one in 2011, and they sold it for charity on eBay.
No, I don't think Hasbro
It was a
will
prototype,
follow
yeah.
suit with that.
And then
No
there
pun
was
intended.
a comic book 2-pack for like Star Wars Comic 11 way back in the day, 2008. That's way back in the day now, where it was a white Darth Vader and a Princess Leia action figure. So we're getting a new white Vader, possibly.
Okay.
I mean, it's a white Vader with like blue eyes because he's redeemed. He's not
I see.
bad anymore.
That's an easy repaint for Hasbro and a $28 probably price tag put on it.
And the third one is Sergeant Creel, who is
Okay.
he's from the newer comics.
He's also from the Star Wars, man. He's kind of a
He's
stormtrooper.
the Scar
sergeant,
Trooper, yeah.
Yeah.
He was an undercover stormtrooper. He worked with the 501st, and he was under Vader's command, or is under Vader's command. I'm saying was.
My fear with that is, I mean, if I'm remembering what he looks like, he's a kind of a bigger,
a
bulkier
beefier,
trooper.
yeah.
So I'm afraid they're going to just use a normal stormtrooper body and throw a pauldron on him.
And give him a lightsaber.
And yeah,
Cannot forget.
They'll pick one out of the bin and
It has to
repaint
be,
it. And,
yeah, it's green, right? Yep. Mhm.
yeah, there we go. I
Looks
mean,
just like him.
I like the idea of expanding the line to do these comic book characters and other I mean, yeah, that's cool. I like when they embrace other parts of the canon besides the mainline movies, and I also understand like a lot of collectors will not care so much about these, especially if they don't read the comics, but the fact that they're just going to be straight up repaints and mismatched parts is kind of And then again, they're going to have that probably $28 price tag and be exclusives to GameStop, I would imagine. GameStop's been getting a lot of these, so...
Yeah, probably.
It's,
the chrysanthemum wasn't just GameStop.
Oh, maybe not. So, okay,
I mean,
so they're not always just
This is a comic line.
Oh, you're right. I'm thinking the gaming greats tends to be GameStop. But, I mean, we just keep repainting the same figures, and they're not really going above and beyond. If they went above and beyond, like if they somehow... resculpted that black chrysanthemum just a little bit better, get him a little beefier, maybe put a little more work into the harness. Okay, maybe I'd pay the $28 for that.
Maybe.
But, the price keeps going up and the effort keeps going down. That's my problem here. It's not that I wouldn't want these figures, that I don't think they could be, cool on the shelf. I mean, the Leia will be interesting because that is, I don't know what you can reuse, so that might actually be a new figure.
Probably reuse a lot of Padme.
Yeah, well, you shouldn't have given them that idea.
Oh, come on.
I know, they probably already had it. Yes.
She's in a white jumpsuit. They pretty much just have to give her some new gloved hands.
Yeah. All right. Well, that's probably solves that mystery. But no, I'm not opposed to diversifying the line and, going into some comic books, and whether they be EU comics or the new comics. I love that idea, but like I said, the quality goes down and the price goes up. And that's all I can say about that.
Well, we'll know more when Hasbro finally releases the news. The next little piece of news is from Lego Star Wars Skywalker Saga. We know that they like to play around with the red bricks. You can turn on little fun modes or extra bonuses and stuff. And we knew they were coming out with the Mumbles mode, so everyone can sound like a Charlie Brown character if you choose. We just found out that they have a mode that allows your weapon to literally say Pew-Pew every time you fire it. I'm going to have this turned on for a little while, because that sounds like fun.
Yes, I know. It reminds me of the Lord of the Rings when they had the song that you could turn on playing in the Gandalf song.
Oh my gosh, I loved the Gandalf song.
Yeah, we had that going for a long time. I can still hear it in my head, and I'm not going to sing the game. If you've played the game, you might know what I'm talking about. There's maybe we could find a quick clip of it that we could put in and not anger the copyright gods.
You'll probably anger the copyright gods.
We'll put a real quick one in there if we can find it.
Okay, good. So yeah, that's just some fun news from that game that I know so many people, including ourselves, we're super excited for that. I can't wait. All right, our last bit of news today is the Star Wars Rogue One writer, Gary Whitta. He shared some behind the scenes look at the Darth Vader scene, the hallway scene, everyone's favorite.
That's all you have to say. Everybody knows exactly what you mean.
So yeah, Gary Whitta, actually his next project, he's going to be working on Batman comics. Tidbit of fun. So he remembered showing Gareth,
Gareth Edwards.
You remember Gareth showing the first cut of it to him, after it was written. His first cut, there was no music, no special effects, wires were still visible, but just looking at it, they knew it was going to just straight up drive audiences insane.
It did. I mean,
Peter Jackson was apparently also on set that day, losing it.
Look, every now and then you can certainly embrace the spectacle. Star Wars is, I don't want to say equal parts, story and spectacle, but it is certainly a visual feast. I mean, right. So when you do things like that, when you take a fan favorite character in a movie where it makes sense that we know he's going to be on the trail of Leia and all of that, and you do something like that, yeah, that's fantastic.
It's showing Vader just doing what he does.
Yeah. And, I wonder, something like that, does that inspire them to be like, well, we can bring back Vader for this Kenobi series and do something similar. We can have another. See, that's the problem with it. Yeah. They don't know how to restrain themselves, I fear. They see...
Kid in a candy store.
Exactly. They see fan response and, the fans... I mean, everybody loves that scene. It is...
Oh, yeah.
It is one of the best scenes in Star Wars, and it's a frivolous, fun slaughter, essentially. And so that worries me, that they see the response and we need to duplicate that in our series. Instead of just being, how can we make a good series that might happen to have a scene like that in it? I want to see it be the best it can be.
Well, that's all I've got for the news today.
All right, well, yeah, then I guess that's all we got for you this time. So take to the comments below. Tell us what you think about these stories. Tell us what you think about maybe calling it, with Thor's lightning takes.
No.
And until next time, thanks for watching.